Okay. Is it finally working now? Because this sucker was just getting on my nerves. Is it finally working? Antiques from Karen made it. I'm still awake. Well, that's good. Am I live? Or is it Memorex? Go to my channel. Yay, there I am. 2 thumbs up and 4 watching. Great. Hi, Katie. Sweetie, I did not expect to see you tonight, all things considered. Hi, Angela. Perfecting Pearls. Jen, we just got off the phone, what? Oh, an hour ago? Jen and I are becoming best buddies because I can't tell you how nice it is to have somebody to talk to who gets it. And I think she feels the same way. Excuse me a minute. My nose has been running ever since I got in from sitting in the car eating dinner while talking to Jen because it's cold out there. What happened to spring? Look, his stupid phone is sliding down again already. I put double-sided tape up there. Hi, Nettie. Denise. Denise, darling, I'm not going to, I flunked several languages. I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name, but hello and welcome. Did I find my lipstick? I found the only one I could find was down here. I wanted to wear the red lipstick tonight, and I don't know what I did with it. You know. And I still think I look like, on my laptop, I look completely whited out. Do I look whited out to you guys? Because I can change this lighting a little bit. Old moms, old stuff. Thank you. I've had some people that aren't happy with night owl sales, but it's what works in my schedule because I often have to work 5 to 10 in the evenings. So for me to have an evening sale just wasn't going to happen. And there's so many sales during the day. Moving. There's so many sales during the day that there just wasn't a time slot that I knew I could be consistent in. So I sound great because I had a 2.5 hour nap. I had to be up at 8 o'clock in the morning because the weatherization grant people had to come and inspect the heater. And then he found something that I kind of suspected it was asbestos over some pipes. So then he took photos of that. So I don't know what's going to happen about that. Hey, maybe they have a grant to get rid of that. So he had to take some photographs of that. But I had to, don't knock the tea over. I had to be awake from anytime from 9 to 1. I had to be home because they were going to come inspect the new heater. So he came and inspected it, looked to his left and went, what the hell is that? And I went, some kind of crappy insulation that's on the pipes. I played really stupid. He goes, pretty sure that's asbestos. And I went, yeah, I'm not so sure. So I just leave it alone. It's the only part of it that's still in the house. There's 3 feet on 2 different pipes. So he took pictures of that. He took pictures of the cellar window that is literally held together with spray foam insulation. And he went, well, there's one of your reasons your house is so cold. I went, one? There's 3 more like that on the other side. So took pictures of those. So I don't know, maybe there's some other grant where they can replace those windows because they're 1911 windows and they're really drafty and they're rotting away. And yeah, see, asbestos is fine as long as you don't disturb it. And I have never disturbed it. I'm never gonna. I don't know if there was more at one point and my brothers tore it off because back in that hole, we always used to call it the hole. So there is a room that the foundation makes that's full of dirt from the addition in 1935. So they just sank the stone walls down to the same level as the original stone walls, but they never excavated that room. They just walled it off with stone. Well, at some point, one of the brothers, probably Steve, discovered this little crawl space into there. And over the decades, they have torn out some of the stone wall on one spot. Don't worry, they didn't tear out a load-bearing wall. How we go for that word? Let's go for that. So they've been digging that out for, even I as a kid was in there. The dirt is like a rock. I can remember being in there with a hammer and a big old chisel pounding, and we would take buckets of dirt out and dump it in the backyard. Because we all had this dream that, hey, wouldn't it be great? We could have a rec room. Remember in the 70s, rec rooms for the kids to play in? So we all thought we could have that. It never got very far, but there is a space hollowed out in there, just not a huge space. I'll have to do a video of that basement again and show the hole. And so the guy was looking back in there, but this asbestos may have gone on the pipes all the way back in there, but my brothers tore it off long ago. So there's just 3 feet left. So the guy took pictures of that. The funniest part about the hole down in the basement is one set of brothers thought they had discovered a dinosaur bone because they found this great big bone like this. And mom had enough sense to take him over to what was then Widener College, now Widener University, not the law school. The law school for Widener is in Delaware, where Jill Biden used to teach. But it used to be Pennsylvania Military College and then became Widener College. Now it's Widener University. But she took them over there and had one of the science professors ID the bone. And they were just so heartbroken to find out it wasn't a dinosaur bone. It was a cow vertebrae. Because the Wetherill family used to have a dairy farm that went from the original homestead across the street all the way down to Chester Rural Cemetery, which used to be the outskirts of town for Chester. So they thought they had dinosaur bones, and it was a vertebrae. So Chicago lady's here, Melanie's here, Diane's here. And Katie's here. 39 watching, 12 thumbs up. Come on. So hopefully we won't have any weirdness in our chat that has been happening on some of the other chats, on some of the other lives that lately. I saw it yesterday, and then I saw it this morning happening on Cajun Roots Reseller. Something weird is going on in YouTube, and something is occasionally taking out comments from moderators, and it just like deletes the comments, and it's deleting all of the comments from that particular person that it happens to hit. It's just really, really weird. Yes, I do have moderators, Book Bewitched. I do have moderators, but it's been some weird thing going on with YouTube. Are any of my brothers still alive? Yes, all 4 of them are still alive. Steve will be 70. Is he 72 or will he be 72? No, I'm not 56 yet. So he will be 72 December 7th. He's the oldest. And so it's Steve, Phyllis, David. David screws up the math because he and Phyllis are not a full 2 years apart. They're only like something bizarre, like, I don't know, 13 months apart. And then mom had polio, so there's a 4-year gap. And then Gary, then 4 years, then Roy, then 4 years, then me. But yeah, there's 16 years between Steve and I, so we're all still kicking so far. Yeah, Google deleted comment, Angela. That's what it was. It was really weird. And they've been popping up randomly on almost every live I've seen in the last 24 hours. So it's just been really, really strange. So I don't know what they're doing. They're just being strange. And I see Mr. L. Page has come to join us. Was it happening in Patrick's? Oh, I was afraid of that. Because, you know, he's not that, he's the sale before me. I was kind of afraid of that. So it has been a busy week because, and I don't quite have everything ready because I never got Mike in there today into the Black Hole Challenge room to get the parts to the old bunk bed moved, because something is supposedly arriving tomorrow. I don't know. He just left for work and said, you know, he says I fell asleep and I forgot to call and confirm. So he said to me, so tomorrow you're going to have to call Upland Corner and talk to them about delivery. Now, Upland Corner is where this china closet is that I posted the picture on Instagram that I fell in love with. And I think it's in the video. So I have a suspicion, really, really strong one. Because he mentioned again this morning something about, you know, about this year being our 25th anniversary. For those who don't know, the young man that I refer to as my son is Mike. Mike technically is a nephew from the brother Roy, the one up from me. Roy and his wife had some issues with illegal substances. So 6 months after my father died, I suddenly became an instant parent to a 2-year-old. Mike's now 26. After I had a mini stroke 5 years ago, he moved back in to help take care of me while I recovered. And then he was figuring he'd stay here and take advantage of the discounts for being in Chester at the community college, but then found out Wawa has a program and they're paying for his school. But he stayed and has been helping me with the house. But I refer to him as my son because, you know, when you get a kid at 2, but I don't know the exact date, and we've always jokingly called it our anniversary. So he celebrates his birthday. His mom passed away when he was 7. My brother's still alive, so he celebrates his birthday with his dad. But he and I have our anniversary date of when he came to live with me as 2-year-old. I don't know the actual day. I just know it was 3:00 in the morning, the Sunday before Christmas. And it was 2 or 3 days before Christmas. So he figured it out that this year will be the 25th anniversary. So we should do something special. And I think that he's getting me the china closet. Really pretty sure he's getting me the china closet that I fell in love with. So yeah, it was a sweet thing to do. It was a way to have a special day for us because I couldn't really celebrate his birthday. I do remember a teacher like asking me what day was his birthday. And at that point, I think he was 6 years. It was either, I think it was his kindergarten teacher. I think he was 5. And I said, oh, I don't know. It's 8. Is it 28th or the 24th of August? And she looked at me and she goes, how can you not know? And then I freaked her out because I went, well, it's not like I was there. We look so much alike in the face that she really thought that he was my biological son. And a lot of people still think. He gets really mad because if there's no gray showing and I have dyed my hair, we have been accused of being siblings, which I think is absolutely hysterically funny. And he does not. He doesn't think that's oh so great. I think it's hysterical. So, you guys ready for some fun stuff tonight? What do we want to start with? Well, let's start with, don't do that. Let's start with this thing. I had a nice little bowl I had sold, but I've seen bowls and I've seen plates. I've never seen a ladle. I've never ever seen one of these lacquerware painted ladles. Now, somebody had carefully put, it's a piece of foam. So I'm guessing they had a string around it and had it hanging on the wall. The problem is that it's a piece of foam. There's adhesive gunk and foam, so it's still stuck there. Oh, I know what Lincoln Project is. Book Bewitched. I've seen some of their stuff. Yeah, he is my he's also really well adjusted. I did try to get custody of his of his half brother, but they wouldn't let me because I wasn't technically related to Buddy, and unfortunately Buddy is the typical statistic child of drug addict parents. And Buddy is currently in jail, unfortunately. Breaks my heart. That kid got bounced around from person to person to person, and that does such damage to a kid. And I was not going to have that with Mike. Absolutely not. So, I don't want to do WD-40 because of the lacquer finish. Sometimes if you use something that's too caustic, the finish comes off of these. So what I will do, and I didn't get a chance to today, is sometimes you can just take a little wet piece of folded up paper towel with water on it and just sit it over it, and it'll loosen it up, as long as there's no cracks in the lacquer, because you don't want it to raise the lacquer. But I will try to get it off of there. The only real flaw is that there is this white spot, which I think is a little spot of paint, and I'll see if that comes off. But there's a little wear spot right here where there's a rough spot. It almost looks like something touched the lacquer before it was completely dry. Because not only is that spot there, there's actually part of a fingerprint, just a teeny little bit of a fingerprint right here in the lacquer. It's in the gloss coming over it. And there's a little wear coming on this line right here. Coconut oil. Ooh. That would be interesting. I know about Goo Gone, Katie. I've run out of it. I don't have any. So, I didn't have it. I did not. I didn't look up a price for this. So, yeah, I don't know if I don't know. A lot of times this lacquerware is from Russia, but I just don't know because there's no markings on it. And lacquer ladle. So it is a nice size. It is really big. It is it's about 12.5 inches long for the lacquer ladle. And the paint job itself is in beautiful shape, except for that stupid thing. So it really would be nice to just like put a little ribbon around it at the top and hang it up on the wall, which is probably what they did. So the lacquer ladle is $6. $6, and it's number 60. $6, number 60. I'm going to sit you up there. No, we're going to sit you over there. Yeah, a lot of the little boxes I've seen Oh, I'm in Chop Chat. Gotta get out of that. $6 and I can't wait till I have a big desk and my notebook will fit and my keyboard will fit. Terry Candeloro. All right. Who do I want to do next? All right. Some of you have seen the red glass before. This is a newer one. You can tell from the souvenir of Burlington Mish. I mean, it's old enough that it's abbreviated Mish and not MI, but at the same time, that's not etched in. That's silver overlaid over the red flash, and then there's gold on the top. It's an interesting little thing, and I mean, you could have it that way. The cool part of this is being a coal scuttle is I really kind of think it would be kind of cool at Christmas time because you could put black licorice in it and really make it look. But this side looks great because it doesn't have any writing on it. But it's a nice piece. There's a little tiny ding here, but you don't see it at all when you're going this way. You can feel it, but you don't see it unless you flip it upside down. Then you can see it. But it is a neat little glass piece. It's fun to decorate with. I think it would be cool to have at Christmas time. So you have, but you can have it at any time. But I do think it'd be awesome to have like little black licorice in it, just because it would then look like coal. So this is $6 and it's number 14. $6, number 14 for the little flash red glass coal scuttle. The glass, from what I understand, flash is when it's put on the outside of the glass and it's not like the glass itself isn't tinted. Terry. Thank you, Terry. So now I have some older pieces. I have a teacup and saucer that actually says Anna on it and a date. And yeah, you can see some really tiny wear of scratch right. I don't even think you can see it. There's a little scratch in the front. But yeah, flash is basically, is it painted? Because it is an overlay onto the glass. We've got that. What do we want to do next? I don't want to touch that pile of books yet. Let's do this little guy. It's just a, I don't know how old it is. This little ribbon, this holder is like a thin round plastic cord. It's just a little souvenir dish, but it's a souvenir dish for Nantucket Island, Massachusetts. Now, my parents would have been up there long before I was born. So, and again, this is something that has MASS as opposed to, what's the abbreviation for Massachusetts? MA. What's on there? Rounding the Light, Nantucket Harbor. Sankaty Head Lighthouse, Captain's Room and Old Custom House, the Commercial Wharf, and Nantucket's Oldest House and Old Mill. And then it's got what? Nantucket, Tuckernuck Island. Oh, Lord, don't say that word when you're drunk. Tuckernuck. There's a mouthful. But it's just a little, souvenir dish. I know my parents went up and did New England long before I was born in 65. So, but it is a cute little souvenir dish. And this one is $3, number 29. $3, number 29 for the little Nantucket Island souvenir dish. Dang it. My nose keeps running. It's because now all the maple trees around here are dumping out yellow pollen all over the place. Hello, Possum. I see Nate's here. Our wonderful Nate in wonderful New Zealand. Now, let's do, what's behind the kitty? Oh, let's do the strawberry. So this is a little trivet. It's made from a tile, and the tile says it's made in Taiwan. But the image says Jasco 1981. Really cute. And it says, to have enough to share, to know the joy of giving, to thrill with all the sweets of life is living. She kind of has that Sunbonnet Sue outfit on, but it also reminds me of strawberry shortcake, but that's so not the right hat for strawberry shortcake. But it's got little hard rubber feet, and you could use it as a trivet. You know what I like to use these kind of things for is to put my teacup down, so that way the heat or anything doesn't mess up the old furniture, because I have my father's desk from when he was a high school kid, and that's in my bedroom, and I have little trivet things to sit my teacups on so that it doesn't mess up the finish of the desk. So we have this lovely little strawberry cup holder, you could almost call it, but it's a tile. And this little cutie is $3, number 40. $3, number 40 for the strawberry tile. Okay. Terry. Thank you, Terry. Now, we are up to number 5. Let's do okay. I got a piece of what is quite possibly Victorian glass. I need a piece of white paper. Well, the tax bill will work. Can you see this? This little glass is a nice little, now you've got, I cannot line this up because I can't see it. So you've got these little dots, flower things on this side, and then you've got the same on this side. And it's all around the top it's all little dots. It's all hand applied little tiny dots. It's not very big. And this is the only remaining one. It's 2 3/4 inches high. And I remember this being in the china closet at my great aunt's house. And apparently it had been part of a decanter set but this was the only piece that was left. When whoever did the top, they got a little sloppy right there. There we go. Can you see what they did? Their spacing wasn't right, so they kind of like tried to make up for it. But you can see all these little things on the outside, all these little tiny dots, they're all hand applied. And I am surprised that so many of them are still there. Now, some of them, now the blue flowers, the little blue and white dots for the flowers are all pretty much there. The real wear is some of the top, like this one, not that one. This one is missing its top little dots. So most of the wear is at the top. There's no chips. There's no cracks. They really did a nice job because when you hold it up to the light, you can see that there's a little circle in the center. So it would have been a blown glass. But I had always been told that this had been part of a decanter set from their parents. Now, Annie, I was born in 1900, so this means this would have been in mid to late 1800s piece, but it's the only piece left. And rather than have it like hiding in a dark china closet anymore, in my mother's china closet, I'm going to offer this up, this lovely piece of Victorian glass. I'm going to offer it up to anyone who would like to have it. We're going to do an offer up, and we're going to start it at $5 for the little Victorian glass. So Katie will put in the timer, and let's see. I don't think it's glowing. Yeah, it's not glowing any. What a pity. Wouldn't that have been cool if it would glow? That would have been awesome. But it doesn't glow. But it is a nice little piece of Victorian glass. So how often do you get to buy 100-year-old plus glass? So it really is a cute little thing, and you could use it to hold toothpicks. You could use it to hold any little thing you wanted. You could put a liner in there and use it for an air plant. But it really is a nice thing, and if you want, I'll even write down what I know of the history of it. That it was from, definitely pre-1900. And it was part of a cordial set, which meant it would have had other little glasses and a decanter that matched it. But this is all that's left, just this one lone little glass. One of my favorite singers has a song about the glass. And they get to where there's just one left, and glasses were meant to be used. Her name is Zoe Mulford. And I think the song is called Elegy, or Elegy Glass. And it's about how there was a set of glasses and it gets inherited and passed down. And, they're only used for special occasions. And then to finally get to the one grandmother who says, what's the point of hiding it? You should use it and love it. That's what it was meant for. And it's about how things have a purpose and you should let them be their purposed thing. Nettie for 10. And I love that song because it makes me think of some of the stuff in this house about how, there's some stuff that you only ever saw it when Mom took her chinas out of the china closet. This thing had been living in that china closet since 1984 when we had to empty the house. But it is such a pretty little delicate thing. So, thank you, Nettie. Now I have to do these next because one of these is what I had that glass sitting in to keep it safe. So I have I had 2 mugs last time from bone china from England. I have 2 more this time. Now this one is a floral, and they were never used. It's absolutely perfect inside, no scratches, no nothing. Fine bone china, Berkshire china, Stoke-on-Trent, made in England. Just a nice little coffee cup. They're 4 inches high. This particular one, the floral one, it's $5. It's number 2. $5, number 2. I like the white picket fence look in the background. Couldn't really tell if those were specific flowers, but they are nice colors. And then the next one. Oh, Nettie. Okay. The next one, who likes bears? Now, this was made by Dunoon. I'm not sure how you'd pronounce that. Fine bone china made in England. Teddy's is the artwork that's on it, designed by Richard Partis. So this one actually has an artist name on the bottom. And this has this wonderful image of toys all the way around. And you've got the old biplane and a teddy and toy soldiers and this really great looking old train engine in the back. And then you've got the guardsmen soldiers. And again, it's never been used. And the same thing, it's 4 inches high. It's $5, and it's number 35 for the Teddy one. Number 35 for the Teddy's mug. And it's $5. Really, really cute mug. Now we'll put the Victorian glass back inside one of those mugs to keep it safe. Terry. Okay. Now, let's do a tin. And you guys tell me if you want me to do an offer up on this one. This is a tin. Isn't it cool? Same image on both sides. I think it's kind of 80s looking, having that ribbon and then the jewelry piece around the cat. I can't remember how long I've had it. The edge all looks like dollhouse wallpaper to me. I'm pretty sure I picked this up in the 80s. It is 7 1/4 inches tall from the floor to the ear. But, ta-da! It's all clean inside. There's some marks there and on the bottom there, but that's from things rubbing together. There's some scratches on the bottom here, but the outside is in good shape. But there's no, come on, you fit together so beautifully. Get in there. There's no maker's mark. There's still the remains of a sticker I have to get off. Now, there is some little bit of rust along here. It's not on the other side, though. It's just along the bottom there. And you might be able to see it. If the light hits it the right way, there's a little bit of scuffing here and there. I mean, this thing has bounced around with me for a long time. It does stand on its own because, after all, it is really kind of wide. But it stands on its own. And you could have it that way, or you could face it that way. It really, yeah, it might have sat in a tad of moisture. And because that's a round sticker, I really wonder if I didn't pick this up at a flea market somewhere. But it's time it's time for this to be passed along for somebody to love it, because it's not going to fit with the decor of what I want for the house. But it is a very cute kitty. So it is, it's a big one too. So the cat tin, knowing what tins are like, oh, we'll put it on the cheaper end. The cat tin is $10 and it's number 61. $10, number 61 for the kitty. Yeah, it's still got some life left as a decorator tin. It really does. It's such a cute thing. And Reclaimed Treasures by Mary. Thank you. Hello, Lynn. Now let's see. Let's do one of the other little tins. After seeing Katie's, and these aren't the oldest ones. I couldn't find that bag. I have some old tins. Now, this one's probably the newest one because it does have a barcode, but at the same time, this is old. This has been in there for a long time. I don't even know who Durkee is. I don't think they still exist. So I have a Durkee ground mace tin. I like this. I like the little detail of all the little wild. They're all little herb flowers that go around the top, which is really cute. But because we know this one's newer, I needed to have a nap, so I did not write anything down like I usually do ahead of time. So because we know from the barcode that this one's newer, this one is $3, just $3, all because of that barcode. $3, and it's number 17. $3, number 17. Oh, a pumpkin spice tin? I haven't seen any yet. That doesn't mean Hazel L, do I have your email with your information? Because you should email me that you're looking for a pumpkin spice one so I can add you to the list of stuff people are looking for so that I can see. I have 3 more tins and they're all spice tins of varying age. They get older as we get through them. So I will have more tins next week because I found some I still have to wash that were packed in the Black Hole Challenge room. So I will have some more tins that are larger ones that aren't from the pantry. But oh, Jen made it onto Dr. Lori Live today. And they said she can't post the clip of having been on there, but she can tell the story of having been on there. Oh yes, Auntie Christy. I'm trying to keep a list of what people are looking for. Because you know, there's such a wide variety with having 3 estates, more if you count the stuff my mother inherited. Like all this stuff from my great aunt's house, which was my great grandparents' house, that went to mom. So when it came to me, it was part of mom's estate. But so was the stuff from her mother was part of mom's estate. So, if you really pinned it down to how many people's stuff I have, you're looking at Nana and Pop Pop, Annie Allen A. Floss, Nanny and Poppy. So you have the great grandparents, two of their daughters, their other daughter and her husband, which was Nanny and Poppy, which was my mom's parents, and then stuff from my mother, stuff from my aunt, and stuff from my friend Nancy. So really, there's like 6. Oh my. Oh. So I know somebody put in for this. Where are we? Number 17 was Terry. So yeah, I do try to keep track of stuff that people are looking for, but it's a challenge. So the next one. Okay, looking at the prices, I think the next oldest one is this McCormick. Oh, of course, this actually says, thank you for putting a date. You see, it actually says 1977. Oh, I love that. Now, that has a barcode too. But as I said, I think this one is older than the Mace one, or they might be comparable times. So double superfine mustard. I don't remember when McCormick, I mean, obviously 1977 because it's dated, but I don't remember McCormick using yellow. But in 77, I would have been turning 11 years old that October. So, no, 11. I would have turned 12 that October. So, I was 11. What 11-year-old is paying attention to the tins in the pantry? It's a dry mustard, like a dry heat. I don't know, but I've never heard of double super fine either. So the McCormick Mustard Tin is also going to be just $3 because I think that with having the barcode, and we know it's 1977, it's comparable in age to the other one. So this one's going to be $3 for the little mustard tin, and it's number 1. $3, number 1. And that takes care of that one. Happy and Harned. If I could spell right tonight, Harned, E-D, not D-E. Wow, that dyslexia is kicking in. Now, this one I know is older. What surprised me, now there is this weird, I don't know what that is, and it wouldn't come off. And these all cleaned up beautifully because they'd been in the pantry for decades, and you know how that can make things really cruddy. Now, I did not wash the insides because I knew I was selling them tonight. I went looking at what I could. I can't walk into that pantry. I can get in the doorway and like around the edges. I can't walk into the pantry yet. So I'm pretty sure there's older stuff in there, but I could get to these. So I didn't wash the insides because I didn't want them to be wet when I was doing the sale. Now, this one has the great A&P Tea Company Incorporated. So that was the parent company. It has the Good Housekeeping seal of approval on the side. I haven't seen them do that for food stuff in decades. It says Ann Page, another one I've never heard of. I absolutely love the graphic and the very much 1950s look to it. Get this. 45 cents. It still has the original price sticker on it. 45 cents. You can't whiff any of this stuff for 45 cents and sneeze it back out. So, but I saw Katie going around this salvage place and these fantastic old spice tins, and I'm like, wait, that's a thing? Okay. So yeah, A&P was a grocery store here when I was a little kid, but they are long gone. So I didn't know. I mean, I don't. Is A&P? Maybe that's why they picked the term Ann Page, because that's A&P. But A&P Tea Company, is that the parent company to A&P Groceries? A tea company? Stranger things have happened. But it just is a great graphic. And I found a beautiful way that cleaned these up beautifully without taking the finish off. Because if you take a green scrubby and dish soap, it takes the finish right off of these old tins. But I had a bar of lava soap sitting on the kitchen out by the sink, and I lathered up my hands first and then very carefully went around with the lava soap and then did the top and used a toothbrush to go all around and get it out of the lettering and stuff. Beautiful. It didn't take the finish off. They cleaned up beautifully. I was so happy. I did it just to test it and it worked great. But you're not putting anything super harsh directly onto the tin, because a lot of times, and once this little bit of a finish that's on it goes, then the paint goes right off. And this, they just cleaned up beautifully. So this one is definitely older. I love the red and green. Really would be fun at Christmas. Another reason it'd be good at Christmas is that Christmas, I know there's a lot of recipes out there for a sage stuffing. And so, which is probably why the only reason we had this one. So the sage tin, being older, the sage tin is $5 and it's number 15. $5, number 15. How cool with that red and green? I mean, that would be great at Christmas. That would just be so cool. Terry. No, not Candeloro. C-A-A-A. Yeah, oh, whoops. O-R-O. I keep trying to put an A in there because that's one of my former Boy Scouts names. Has an A. Now, the last one. The last one's going to be an offer up. Because this one's from the 40s. This is distributed by American Stores Company, Philadelphia. Ideal brand, whole allspice. Isn't that great looking? It's in great shape. There's a little weird little mark there. I can't tell. I didn't want to rub it too hard because I don't want to take the paint off. It doesn't seem like rust. It seems like there was something a little stuck. There's a little dent in the corner here. Goes all the way around. It also says American Stores on this side. Now the lid at the top didn't come as clean as I would have liked, but it is a neat tin, and there's still some in there. There's also a little ding here, little ding there. But this one's going to be an offer up. This one is way cool. Whole? Yeah. What do they look like? I don't even know what they look like. looks like a little berry just all dried out. Oh, you can even see the little hole where the stem would have been. Yeah, I've only ever seen ground. I mean, there's not many in there. There's, you know, there's maybe 30 down in the bottom, but I mean, think about it. Look at this. Come on. So that's all that was in there. What did you use it for? This is a big tin compared to all that little bit. They smell nice. What is allspice used in? That smells like Thanksgiving. It smells like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of pumpkin pie. That's a pumpkin pie smell. It must be in pumpkin pie. Pumpkin. Allspice is a pickling spice? Oh, is this the little black thing then? The little black ball that you sometimes see in the bottom of the jars of pickles? Oh, that's what that is. Well, canning is, oh, I wish they'd have taught me. Canning has always been a huge thing in my mother's family. Huh. That's that little black ball then that's in the bottom of a jar of pickles. It's one of these suckers. Nice. I can't get that smell out of my nose now. I'm just smiling because I love it. We didn't have pies, we didn't have cookies, all through, because the oven, I haven't been able to get the oven fixed because I don't want just anybody working on a gas line. Don't want that happening. A mouse ate the rubber hose that goes to one side of the oven. So if you turn the oven on, one side lights, but the other doesn't, and it just leaks gas out. So we can't use the oven. So they actually went through the holidays this past year with nothing, no cookies, no nothing. And I like to bake, so that was no fun for me. So anyway, the 1940s allspice tin is going to be an offer up, and we're going to start it. We're going to start it at $6 because it's from the 40s. I did try to look this one. So, who wants this one? I mean, it really is in good shape. Is Katie timing? I see we've got 2 going already. There we go. Well, I keep holding the ruler upside down. So it's 4.5 inches tall. And, you know, and you do get some in there. And it's a local thing, man. American Stores, Philadelphia, PA. So that's local for me. The bottom is in great shape. There's no signs of rust around the bottom. There is a little, looks like a little in the inside here, but then of course sitting in a pantry, and this pantry doesn't have a door on it, so any like dirt and dust and all that would have gotten on the top. But this is a neat one. Terry, there's no way this is worth $68, darling. I see a 7. So, such a great piece. Oh no. Oh, I think somebody snagged it from Mr. L. Page. And I know this was one of the ones he was interested in. Katie will tell me. Belinda Carroll. You know what I was hoping to find tonight, and I didn't find him. I have some It's Virginia Dare. What do they call it? The flavorings, the liquid flavorings. What you drinking? I am drinking Earl Grey tea. But it's Virginia Dare, and they're really cool looking glass bottles, and they look, ouch, from the graphics, they look like they're from the 40s. And I didn't spot them. I got to cut this nail off. I've been having the worst time with my nails lately because they're doing weird things. So instead of my nails breaking this way, they're layering and breaking that way. And this one just did it, and it layered right off. I just had to cut that off. I don't know what's doing that. I don't know if it's from being on the medication, the hydrochloroquine, for so long, but I've been on that for 2 years now, and I've never had this problem. Really annoying. So Belinda's in there for 10. All right, let's do some ephemera. All right, come here, you guys. Let's do some of the big ones first. Oh, did not realize this was in there. Okay, so this is technically a craft thing. However, decorative painting, but full-size patterns. The cool part is that the full-size patterns are full-size color patterns. So you could cut these out and use the images for junk journaling. Yeah, Terry, that's why you guys see my nails polished so much, is because if I don't keep my nails polished, they break really a lot. And the nail polish I had on was more of a glaze, and it just wasn't enough to keep them from doing that. I do like that picture. Playing jump rope with Tigger's tail. File nails with a crystal file. Crystal one. Well, you're Revlon and you're old, so I doubt you're crystal. Witch hazel? Sure, I got some of that. I'll give it a try. I like the Eeyore. The only problem with like using the Eeyore one is like you'd have to use Eeyore, but not the balloons, because the balloons actually like have color names in them. But you could use this one if you're not going to use it for patterns to paint things with. You could just use the images for junk journaling. So the Pooh Bear leaflet. The Pooh Bear leaflet is $4. $4, number 69 for Pooh Bear. $4, number 69 for the Pooh Bear craft booklet. Because it's one of those little thin booklets for, yeah, you could use it for decoupage. And Tammy Renee. All right. Now I have, let's just do all the coloring books here. So I have a couple of coloring books. Come on, you get off of there. So I don't know if Dover Publications makes some fantastic coloring books. I don't know if they still do this one. Favorite Dogs by John Green. And look at they got a lot of them. They got a lot of them. So they've got color pictures all through the cover and the front cover as well. Oh, Debbie Vitale. I don't know. I haven't heard anything other than they were very, very worried about the state of her kidneys and that she might have to go back into the hospital. And that was 2 days ago that they were, well, no, it was, yeah, it was, well, what's today? Thursday. So that was Wednesday morning. I saw her in a chat. Yeah, so she did go into the hospital. Yeah, she had mentioned that they were concerned it looked like it was going to kidney failure. And I just keep praying for her because she's a real sweetheart and we're all really worried. The old stamp books, I actually have some of them. I think yeah, the ones where you take this, you had the stamps you had to lick and you put it on the page and colored in some of it. I think I have one for space exploration somewhere. But those aren't stamps. That's just the colors. And then the pictures are this. And then they give you this neat write-up underneath. Now, I leafed through it before, and I'll do it again because I did find... Well, there's two of my favorites. Pekingese and a Yorkie. I grew up with a Pekingese named Susie, and then when I was older, I had a white Pekingese named Fleta, who was named after one of the fairies in the Gilbert and Sullivan operetta called Iolanthe. Now, somebody colored in Tippy. You know, that's the little Pomeranian. So there's a little bit of color on that one. And every page has at least one dog breed on it. I like this one personally because it's got the puppies. Really cute little thing. But I thought there was a second page. There we go. The German short-haired pointer. Somebody colored them in and just colored them all in with black. So when is this one from? This one is from 1983. Favorite Dogs coloring book. Great images of all these puppies, including like a bull terrier, all kinds of dogs. And so this one is $4. And it's number 12. $4, number 12. Stick you up there. Now, the next ones I have are older. And this one is the Trace It coloring book. Now, this is from, don't you love the graphics on the cover of that? Great graphics. And this one is from the Merrill Company Publishers. It is from 1956. Now, it's got some great images. And I like in the back, they have different countries and they're dressed in the cultural clothing. So like that one's Yugoslavia. And then you have Spain and Argentina. They're really neat images. And now because it was trace and color, some of the pages actually still have the tracing paper. And you would put it over it and trace the image and then color it in. Now, a lot of the tracing paper is gone, but the images are great. And they haven't been colored on. It hasn't been colored in. So this is the great front graphics. The back is the same graphic. So for the 1956 Trace It, Color It book, it's $4. It's number 6. $4, number 6. Okay, and I see Belinda. Now we have one from, now this one has 3 copyrights in it, but the latest one is 55, 56, 1958. This one is a Whitman coloring book. And it's the ABC coloring book. Again, really cute graphics to the cover. Now the back has an ad for another Whitman book, which is The Birds Around Us. So it has an ad in the back. Now it's missing a letter because it stops. Technically it stops at Y. But it says, then there's X, Y, and last of all, Z. Oh, because I see it. Z is over here. I didn't see it. I only saw the Y. But baby is sleepy. It's easy to see. After all, what do you rhyme with Z? That's not an easy thing to rhyme, because they all have things like witch and woodpecker, and they all have words for their thing. And Belinda, you wanted the dog coloring book as well. Okay. Belinda, you darling, I just sent you a bunch of books. You just love my books. I'm making sure. I didn't think this one had any coloring in it. I wanted to make sure. So this one has no coloring in it at all. It's in great condition. And this one is going to be $4 as well. And it is number 39. Iris, we've had that talk before. It's okay. And Belinda's getting that one too. Now, this one. This one is 1949. And he's got, let's see, wait a minute, there's one there. Now they've got little soldiers in the front, and one of them is colored. The chickies are colored, the eggs are colored. So there are some images in this one that are colored in. There's quite a few. So this one is still going to just be $4, but it is from 1949. But look at that cover. I love this cover. Now it has a little issue here. You never really see coloring books older than the 1950s. They're just not easy to find. Not at all. And coloring books, as near as I can tell, coloring books really didn't come out until the war years. I've never found a pre-1940 coloring book, ever. So as near as I could tell, they didn't come out until sometime like either during or right after the war. But that is a fantastic cover. And so this one's 1949. Like I said, it does have several pages that are colored in. But this one is going to be $4, and it's number 64 for the It's Fun to Count and Color book. $4, number 64. Vivian Hun, did you send me an email so that I have your information? shoot, I can't take that email away. Let me open up another window because I'm going to need that email about the glass because I didn't write it down. There is. Okay, short wish list from her. Oh, that's an invoice for me. Okay, so where'd she go? Vivian, you haven't bought anything from me before. There actually was somebody from last week that I'm still waiting to hear from. I never did hear from somebody from last week. There was somebody named Vintage Gemini last week, and I don't have anything from her or him. Could be either. So Vivian, make sure you send me it's all the usual stuff. Your name, your address, your PayPal email, especially if it's different from the email that you use to send things, so that I can invoice you. And now I have to work tomorrow, and supposedly this surprise is coming tomorrow, or I'm supposed to call because he forgot to call. I don't know what's going on there. So I will have to figure all that out. So it sounds like tomorrow I will not be getting any invoicing done. Olivia, yes, I know. You did not get the invoice for last week. I thought I had emailed you about that, maybe you're one of the ones I didn't get to email, because I do combine shipping whenever possible. So, and then I have off almost all week. I'm so happy about that. So I know, Iris, I got you. And your item went out. Your item went out today too. Mike, before he went to bed, Mike took the mail out to the post office for me because I had to stay here and wait for the weatherization grant program person to come and inspect the new heater. So, all right, Nate, have fun with dinner. I hate cooking, so you want to come cook at my house anytime you want. Let's see. That's the coloring books. And then there's, what else is here? That's the Pooh Bear. Oh, you're going to fall over. We're going to sit you up there then. And then those are the kids' books. Let's not lose that. That's the tax bill for the house. Just came today. Let's do a piece of glass. I can't wait to show you what I just found out about this glass not 3 minutes before I was frantically trying to get my phone. StreamYard didn't want to let me in. So this was in the video of Upland Corner, which turns out is this place right down the street from me. It is a piece of Crystal Legends by Godinger, handcrafted over 24% lead crystal, made in Hungary. Well, you don't need that side. Isn't that so pretty? Now, it has, where'd it go? There is a ding. Can you see it? Right there on the inside lip. There is a teeny little flea bite in there, but that's all that's wrong with it. But it gets better. And I gotta turn the lights off for you to see how much better this gets. So, I have other glass here. Come on, light, turn the heck off. Why won't you turn off? Are you broken? Well, hell's bells. That light's broken now. That's all right. Don't you fall over. I need you to reach the power strip. Okay. Hopefully this is dark enough. No, not strobe. So can you, I don't know if they're going to show. So there's little blue sparklies. I don't know if I can make it show you. It almost looks like there's glitter in the glass, and I don't know how to make it show it to you. I don't know if you can see them. Can you see little sparkly bits? Yeah, almost like little, but it's little tiny blue sparkly bits, mostly all in the bottom. And it's in the glass. I've never known, like, I've never seen that before. Mind you, I've never put a black light to crystal before. But it's got like fairy dust hiding inside of it. It's so friggin' cool. Turn back on. I think it's so cool. It's like they got fairy dust trapped in there. It is the neatest little thing. I'm kind of gobsmacked. Oh man. I don't know how they did that, but that's just so cool. Honestly, I would love to, like, I'm just a fairy geek. I love fairies. I love vintage fairies. I have ever since I was, how old was I when I got that bottle? A neighbor gave me a perfume bottle that he brought home as a GI from World War II. He brought it home from France for his wife, and they were babysitting me. Now all their kids are way older than me. And I kept looking at this little thing because it was on a curio cabinet in the kitchen, on a curio shelf. And they both agreed to let me have it. And it's got this beautiful little fairy image. The bottle is only this big. And I think I was 8, probably, maybe younger, maybe 7. And so that's when I kind of like first discovered fairies, like that you could find things that had fairies on them outside of a book. And so I got to keep that, and then ever since I've been collecting fairies. But if I knew, I just think it would be great to get those black light. Somebody had them, black light, little string of fairy lights, put that in there and just have it glow all the sparklies would be so cool. The doll with the big glasses. Okay, wait. Wait, there's a song, Hell's Bells? I didn't know there was a song, Hell's Bells. Kitchen fairies. I don't have kitchen fairies. What's a kitchen fairy? I've heard of a kitchen witch. I don't know a kitchen fairy. Oh, Hazel, darling, you got to send me a picture of that. The doll. She's staring at you. So she is from the Disney, The Incredibles. This is Edna. Edna is the one who designs their costumes in The Incredibles and all their gadgets. Oh, AC/DC does Hell's Bells? I only know AC/DC's song Big Balls. I love that song. It's a great song about having big balls. Fancy balls, masquerade balls, all kinds of balls. Some are held for charity. Yeah. Oh, I'm so going to have to find that. But she is got her tag. She is made by Disney. Does she have a year? Now, she says that she is from the Disney Store EU. So did somebody Oh, wait, it's also got it for Japan on there. So maybe it's just that they put that info on for everybody. But I was going to put her up on eBay, but there's quite a few of them up on eBay. So I know the B-side of AC. I only know that one song because I grew up listening to Dr. Demento, who didn't start until midnight on a Sunday night into Monday morning. And I used to be exhausted going to school because I'd stay up late at night listening to him on the radio. And he was a local DJ that would just play novelty songs. You can find some of Dr. Demento stuff online. You can find some of his recordings. He did release a couple of CDs. But yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Wait, who was interested in the doll? Mr. L. Page, big what? I have to back up because, okay, so what did I miss? Cadmium that glows blue. Oh, that's cool. Kitchen Fairies, AC/DC. Hell's Bells. I've still got to look that up. I grew up hearing Hell's Bells as a way to not get your butt beat for cursing. Flower, Thunderstruck. Yeah, I use a lot of old words. Thunderstruck, gobsmacked. Some of the new generation knows about the B-side because my son... Oh, God, yes. Dead Puppies. My favorite wasn't Dead Puppies. It was I'm looking over my dead dog Rover that I ran over with the power mower. Yeah. So, Edna. So, Jen K., you were the one interested in Edna? Because I'll sell Edna if there's interest in Edna. But we're gonna finish with this first. Because Edna would be for sale. Okay, Jen. We'll do Edna next. Oh, Thunderstruck is a song. I've actually said Thunderstruck on some of these lives. So let's do the offer up for the little crystal. You know, if you do it this way, you've got a really cool looking crystal ball, but it won't roll off the table. So let's do the piece of Godinger, Godinger. So for the Godinger crystal, it's going to be an offer up, and we're going to start that. We're going to start that at $10. And Katie will do a timer. Lavish Mango, you're making me laugh. Fish heads. I can't sing any more than that because that one would still be under copyright. Okay, we're going to start this at 10. And I only do 60 seconds, so bid like you mean it. Oh, not bid. Offer like you want it. Now, it's really cool because it's got this deeper groove here. And then this isn't really a deep groove, this little piece right in between, but they frosted inside that little line. And then, of course, there's the straight cut faceted circles that go around it, which might be hard to see. But it is a great piece. And it is wonderful lead crystal. It has those little sparks in it. I see Lavish Mango for 15. Does that? No, that doesn't make it any better to see those circles. Darn. This is why I'd rather sell glass to you guys, because trying to photograph this stuff is a nightmare. Katie will tell you how bad my photos are of glass because she helped me identify some glass that I have to sell. But the nice part too is it does still have its label to it. And she will let me know. Lavish Mango at 15. Okay, now somebody wanted Miss Edna here, who like I said, I have some plush that I was going to put up online, and yes, glass is a pain to photograph. So Miss Edna is in great shape. There's not a mark on her. The only thing missing is she does not have her original tags. So so Miss Edna here. Miss Edna is $9. That's not what I would be listing her on eBay, but we're going to give you guys $9. And she is number 46. $9, number 46. And I think our generation junkie is really hyped up for Edna here. There we go. Jen K, have you sent me an email? So we'll sit her back there so she can. Does she not look like she's just judging you? I mean, that face is one of the things that made me laugh so much about her. She's just got that I'm judging you look. But I love Edna in the cartoons. I think she's absolutely hysterical. So let me check my emails to see who I got. Vivian Cherez, I don't have an email from you yet. And Jen K, I don't remember if I have your email or not. Ooh, kitchen fairies. Wait, I might have one of these. Only one. But I think somebody gave me a little fairy like this a long while ago. Those are cute. Kitchen fairies. So that's a thing. I really think I might have one of those. Those are cool, Hazel. Thank you. Those are neat to see. So we have Miss Edna done. And we have that piece of wonderful glass done. Let's do some more. Let's do the rest of these books. Now, this is from December 1952. It is Workbasket magazine. And I mean, we're also have to look for the linens and stuff. I get a kick out of this one. I've never seen earmuffs in crochet before. I'm not sure they would really be that warm. I don't know. But I mean, the graphics inside, look at those aprons. Fashion finds. Ooh. The length of those skirts got to be below your knee. It has a section on how to knit. It has flower and garden forum in the middle of it. Ladies, take orders for unusual nylons guaranteed for 9 months. Oh man, showing all that leg. I'm more interested in the car. That's the centerfold ad, all that leg. There's a thing about how to carve a turkey. The stuff that I never thought. I thought Workbasket was literally just how to make stuff. You know, I didn't know that it had all this other stuff. So, it's got a round knitted rug, directions for that. It has directions for making this big felt poinsettia that is a lapel pin. It's a brooch that you're making out of felt for Christmas. Now, one of the things it has for crocheting is this wild rose doily. And it's got a man's tie and it's got that. So it has instructions for some stuff, but then, you know, it's got all this other. I got cracked up over this because I didn't know these were a kit. I've only ever seen the finished product, but that is a textile painting. Now, I've seen finished products of textile painting. The things were done, but I've never seen the kit before. So, oh, Vinny's in the house, and Vinny missed the centerfold. Ooh. We'll show Vinny the centerfold. Now, this is from 1952, and she's flashing those gams. I want to know what that car is. Oh, new car given. If you already have a car, you can get a new one on our trade-in plan. So they're sneaking a Chevrolet ad in the bottom, too. I love when Vinny's in the house. Because Vinny is just so wonderfully twisted. Work basket from 1952. So the 1952 work basket is $5. It's number 3. $5, number 3. What's the phrase? Those legs go all the way up. I stole that from Bob Hope, you know. Melissa Lynn. Okay, so we have that one. Now we have this one, and it's a Whitman, and it's a Lassie, but it's in pretty rough shape. With the spine is completely uncovered. There's a lot of wear all the way around the edges. The corners of the covers are all rounded off. You can see the paper. You can see the card, the board inside. Happy and Harned. Oh, really? You've been wanting a toilet tissue roll cover with the doll atop it. I just took that to Goodwill today because it had been in a live sale, and I tried it twice and I couldn't sell it. So I just dropped it off today. She was peach colors, peach and cream. Okay, so Happy and Harned. If it's peach and cream, it was a brunette porcelain doll. The crocheting was peach and cream. Would that be a color you'd be interested in? Because I have to meet with a Boy Scout tomorrow before I go into work. And that Goodwill is on the way to his house. So I can stop in and see if it's there. So anyway, we have this peach and cream. Okay. Happy in Harned. Toilet paper doll. Now, this isn't one of those dolls that's the granny. You've all seen them, right? The ones that have the plastic head granny. This is a porcelain doll, and her legs stick down inside the roll. Okay, I will stop in tomorrow and see if it's there, because I have some paperwork this young man has to have because he's going to do his Eagle project Saturday morning. So he has to have the paperwork from me signed. And so I have to drop it off at his house before I go to work. So I will check and see if I can snag it back for you. Okay, so we have the Lassie book, and we talked about the outside edge. Now inside, it's 1964. It's got great images. Was there anything wrong? There was something, and I can't find it. Okay, so every once in a while, there's a weird little fingerprint-sized yellowing. But most of those are they're not on the images. They're like on the text part along the bottom. There's 2, 3, 4, and then like there's this one is way over here. You can really see that one. Happy and Harnett, I will email you if I get it. So it has a little issue there, but it is a great old classic book. Wonderful for junk journaling. And so the Lassie book, so the Lassie book is going to be $5, and it's number 41. $5, number 41. All right. And I think we won't do that one. Oh, now this one. So the cover illustration is from a postcard from the 1920s. It's also written, I think that's in French in the back, some of the writing. Now, it's a lined journal. There's a couple of pages that have a light crease down at the bottom, but it's never been used. It's got space for a name. There's quite a few pages to it. But the pages are all lined. They have this neat little shooting star at the top. And Ma Petite Chérie, Alabama Editions, Paris. So this would be cute for just even as a little journal, for junk journaling. And so, I mean, you could use it as a starter because the pages are already there, and then just put everything on the pages. So this would be $5 for the little kitty, for the 2 little kitty notebook. So that's $5, and it's number 27. I like that it's all hand stitched. You can see the threads. This is all hand stitched down the side. So that's really nicely done. Now, this one really kind of has a nondescript little cover. It's called Lions in the Grass. And it says books by Phyllis S. Bosch and Arlene Strong. So there's 2 stories. One is Lions in the Grass, and one is Once There Was a Tree. Oh, I see. Arlene Strong is the photographer. And they are all black and white images. But sometimes black and white images can really, where's that really good one? Can really have a really nice look. So the Lions in the Grass, it's all about dandelions. Nettie, you missed the number for which thing? The number for Lassie was 41. The number for the cat journal was 27. But it talks about these different it's basically the whole life cycle of Nettie. Nettie for the cat journal. Okay. I mean, that's a neat one too. If you like the black and white images, you could frame that one. That would make a nice picture framed. But this one it's very loose in the spine. It's not falling out, but I don't want to wiggle it too much. It had been a library book. You can see where the spine is splitting. But there's a lot of great images. And some of the text is in small little chunks that you could cut that out too. So this one for the Dandelion book is $5 and it's number 19. $5, number 19. What year is this one from? I've forgotten now. 1968. 1968. Good night, Melanie. Nettie. Yeah, when I saw that one, I was like, you know, I really need to, and I used to go to library sales all the time when Mike was a kid. I bought up tons of books because I was not going to have him be like me and not have books to read when I was little. So I bought a bunch of them at book sales, and I'd go on the last day. But the problem came that he doesn't like to read because he's dyslexic. So he's not a huge reader like I am. So now I have, but he absolutely loved being read too. And it gave him a lot of time with me and with his grandmother. If I was working, then they would have story time and she would read to him every night, as long as his homework was done. So there's a lot of books here, a lot of kids' books. Now this one is in great shape. It's got a little dot right, my finger's over it, right there. And it does have this book plate that says Rosie the Imperfect Angel, donated by and distributed by the Cleft Palate Foundation. So I don't know if the book was a private printing for a Cleft Palate Foundation. I mean, it does have a Library of Congress number. It was published by Scholars Press, and it's from 1991. But the story is by Sandra Lee Peckinpah, but it's illustrated by Tricia Moore. And I got this I mean, look at that rose. These illustrations are gorgeous. Look at all this. So let's see, where's her name? She has a unique name. So the angels are watching this mommy who says that there's something different. And then like each little angel has a month that they're responsible for. And so this goes around the whole months of the year. And then there was a little angel who just wasn't doing what she said because she felt different, and it goes all through about why she's different, and she has a cleft palate. So some of the other angels tease her, but they tell her how the boss angel tells her that her special purpose would soon be revealed. So meanwhile, she needs to still tend her January garden and take care of things. And you've still got all these great illustrations. And then at some point, the baby is born, and Rosie's job is to look after all the special babies that are born with cleft palates. So it's a really special, sweet book. Cleft palate's not something that we've had hereditary in our family, but I would read this to my nephews, my great nephews, when I saw them, because I wanted them to understand that there are kids that are different. And so stories like this help teach kids that there are kids that are different, and it doesn't mean you should be picking on them or bullying or anything like that. So it is a great way to show that to other kids by having storybooks like this around. But they're all older now. I mean, technically, Joey, who's the first great nephew, he's technically just he's 2 years younger than Michael. They're only 2 years apart. So they kind of grew up more, almost more like siblings, when they in their early years. But it is a very sweet story, and the book is in great shape. It has absolutely nothing wrong with it. It is a wonderful book, and it is in like new condition. So this book is, I mean, originally it was $15.95. This book is $8. And because it's a special book for the Cleft Palate Foundation, the money I make from this one is the $8 is going to go to the Cleft Palate Foundation. I'm not going to make anything off of this. I would rather take the 8 and make it $10 and send them a donation. Because I looked it up. That foundation does cleft palate work for free for low-income families to help fix it, because it is a fixable problem, especially if they're young. They can do the surgery to fix the palate. So that is where the money for this one going. It is $8. It is number 62. $8, number 62 for the Cleft Palate book. But it is such a sweet story. Okay. Now that's all the books. That's all the ephemera paper kind of stuff. Let's do, well, first I got to flip the page over. All right. Now, let's do, are you guys ready? We have 57 people watching. 56. Y'all gonna be sorry, anybody that wasn't watching. I have chalkware. Whoopsie. Let's get that off of there. So this is going to definitely be an offer up. Come off of there. So I found these and was really shocked that I found them. And when I found them, they were perfect. Look at that. Isn't that great? Now there's no name on the back. There's no, oh, Nettie. Hang on. I'm being real careful with that chalkware because we know how fragile that stuff can be. So Nettie. Okay. All right. Thank you, Nettie. So we have that one that I showed you. And then we have this one. And I admit I found these at Goodwill just this week. And I was ready to kill the guy. Because he went and put these in the bag. They had been perfect. Now I knew this was going to come off because this part was already lifting off. So I knew that was going to come off on me. But the front had been perfect. And the idiot put it in the bag. I said, can you please wrap that? Well, I don't have any paper. Can you please wrap it in the plastic bag at least? Nope, he put it in with other stuff. So now there's a chip right there on that last little grape. I wanted to beat him over the head with it. You know how hard it is to find chalkware in this area, and then to find chalkware that had been perfect? I wanted to slap that boy. Jerk. I so wanted to slap him. So I have this wonderful pair of chalkware plaques. And this is an offer up. We're going to start the offer up at $10. Annie, I will get the information and I'll put it into the description for this when this live goes to video, so that it's in the description. I'll put the information for the Cleft Palate charity into that, so that anybody then that sees this can donate if they choose to. It doesn't run in our family. It does run in my niece's husband's family. But luckily none of their kids had that appear with them. But I do know that one of their cousins on his side did. And that happened after I had gotten the book and already read it to them. So it was great. So they already knew. So, but I will put the information in the description for the Cleft Palate Foundation. So these are going to be an offer up. And do we still have Katie? Because Katie usually times for me. And I know, Terry, when I have that eBay room, there'll be some pop-up sales during the day when I have my reselling office, because then I'll be able to do it. So I need a timer because I can't time on my own because of the lag. How is Vinny not a moderator? And I think all my mods are gone. Yeah, because it's 1 a.m. here. So what is it in California now? All right. Well, I guess I'm going to be... Oh, good. Melissa, I thought you left, dear. We are unsupervised. If this crowd is unsupervised, we're all in trouble. Hey, I did notice my camera's sliding again. There we go. Okay, Melissa, if you can time, that would be great. So if you can time and do this. Now remember, because it's so late, I just tend to do that 60-second. I don't do the extra time. So 1 minute is all you got. So make offers like you want it. But these are fabulous. They really are fabulous. And there's no cracks. There's no problem. Now you could see on this one how that paint piece, it's lifting off just along that edge. So, and when I had done the little video on Instagram, I actually had these still wrapped up in bubble wrap because I literally just took them out of the bubble wrap about 10 minutes before the sale because I want to keep them safe. So, Melissa, if you can start a timer for 1 minute, we're starting at $10 for the pair. We're starting at $10 for the pair. They are fabulous matched pair. They are great, but there's no maker's mark. There's nothing to tell me who made them, who painted them. They are, it's 10 inches high and they're 5 inches wide. But that is a great price for a chalkware plaque set. That is an absolute steal of a price, $10. Very mid-century modern looking, very cool. Wow. I'm surprised, but it might not be that crowd tonight. That's all right. Now, are there anybody, before I go doing this is an offer up. This is Sequoia ware. Another mid-century modern piece. Oh, how did you get kicked out of the stream? But this is another mid-century modern piece, and it is marked USA 603. It's in great shape. It is a piece of Sequoia ware. Wonderful mid-century modern piece. So, yes, weird things have been happening on YouTube for the last 24 hours at least. Google moderator popped up. Really? Well, that's no fun. So I have this great mid-century modern dish. There is one lone chip way down here. That's it. Just that one little spot is the only thing wrong with it. It is in wonderful shape. This is another offer up. And this is also starting at $10 for the Sequoia. And is Sequoia ware? Is Sequoia in California? I don't know if that falls under California pottery or not. I think it does. But it's an offer up at $10 is the start. But it is beautiful. And I like yellow, but mid-century modern's not quite my stuff. Okay, so it is a California piece. So it's 12. So it's a little over 13 inches long. And then this way is 9 inches this way. But it is really, really great looking. I was really happy to find this. And as I said, there's no crazing, there's no cracks. The only flaw is right on that corner, that little nick right there. And it's just a beauty. And $10, come on, that's a steal for a mid-century modern piece. It is a beautiful piece. Just absolutely lovely. And I think Precious Lavender Buttons just got a great deal. Yeah, Precious Lavender Buttons for 10. You got a great deal, dear. Now, I do understand, though, sometimes the price of these things, and then you factor shipping, but still, that's a wonderful, wonderful piece. And that wasn't a piece I found in the house. That was a piece, I saved from Goodwill. Because I'd much rather, you know, a lot of, who did I see say it first? I can't remember who. It was a smaller channel. And then Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop happened to mention it in an older video that I was watching, that we're saving things. One, you're saving it from the landfill, but you're also, you know, you're finding these great pieces in places that otherwise they might end up, you know, just getting broken or trashed, or just they're just lost in a crowd. Like sometimes you go into these huge antiques malls and there's some great deals, but sometimes you have to get stuff out in the open for people to find it. You know, that's the way about, for me, collecting Gilbert and Sullivan memorabilia. It's difficult to find, and with the advent of eBay and online, it was so much easier to find it because you just you'd never see it. It's such a specialized thing. But you got a great deal there, darling. Now, who else do we have? We have this little cutie. It's made in Japan. This is from the house here. It's made to look like a little crocheted booty, which I have to admit, I've never seen that before. Usually they're a shoe, but this one's actually made to look like a little crocheted booty. And it probably had a little ribbon that was either pink or blue. Now, I'm guessing that since it says made in Japan, I am guessing this was probably something from one of my older siblings. I've never, ever seen a crocheted booty one before. So, this one I thought was really different. And this one has to be from Steve, Phyllis, or David. So they got married in 47, 48. Steve came along same year. So it's probably late 40s, early 50s at the latest. Because I'm thinking this is probably from Steve. So this neat little thing, made in Japan on the bottom. So this neat little thing is just $7. $7 for the crocheted baby booty mini planter, or stick pens in it, whatever you want to do with it. Just $7. Number 43. Well, I could write correctly. $7, number 43 for the little baby booty. And what didn't we do? All right, we have a pair of bookends. Now, they're not super heavy. You could change that, though. The felting on the bottom is really worn, and you can see that there's a hollow spot there, because a lot of times old bookends, they would fill it with sand and then put a felting over it, but these don't have that. They don't have a lot of weight to them. But it's a nice little matched pair. They're for what I need bookends for. These have always been too small for me because I have some big heavy stuff. I have not seen Terry Nichols in anything lately. So so we have this nice pair. There's no chips. There's no cracks. I think there's a little wear to the gold here and there, especially like along the edge of his coat where it stands out to the side more. And on the around their necks, because that's where you would probably like grab it if you grab it this way. So this is a really nice matched pair. Bookends are not easy to find of any size. So this is $12 for the pair. They're nice porcelain bookends. It's $12 for the pair. I just spent $50 to get a really cool, nice, heavy pair that matches my fairy decor. But $12 for the pair, number 25. 25 for the porcelain matched bookends of the, well, they're both wearing wigs, so colonial period or French provincial, maybe. Okay, so no takers for that. Now, we also have, I didn't write it down. Okay, so I know which is which here. I need a piece of paper. Not that, that's too dark a blue. I need to put this in the recycling. I'll just take a piece of cardboard off of it. Okay, so one of these is, they're both Hazel Atlas, but they're slightly different. And Katie helped me identify these because I don't know glass that well. They are the Florentine poppy pattern from Hazel Atlas, but there is number 2, which has a rounder rim, and then there's number 1, which is called Old Florentine poppy. And I'll show you the differences. Now, they both were from 1932 to 1935. And I have to put these together so I can make sure I get it right as to which is which. There's Gen K. That's Generation Junkie. And I'm still missing an email from Vivian Cherez. I'm still missing your email. Let me double check the spam folder. Nope, that's empty. I don't have your email. Make sure that your Vivian, make sure you're copying it correctly. A lot of people end up, there's 3 things that sometimes hang people up. They either have NBKL 965, and that's 1965, or they spell Verizon with a S instead of a Z, or no, you have BK. It's NBK. It's right there, and it's N for Nancy, and B is my middle initial, and K is my initial for my last name. So that's why you're missing it. You're missing the N. So it's NBK 1965 at Verizon.net. That'll get you squared away. So These two look at that pattern. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And even the pattern on the bottom. Now, this one is the Florentine Poppy number 2. The reason it's called number 2 is when you see them together, I had to ask Katie because it just seemed to me like this mold didn't seem as crisp as the other one, but it's really, really beautiful. But the difference is that this is more rounded. Like there's little dips, but they didn't make an effort to really make the dips really accented. Accented. I can't talk right tonight. And there's no chips. There is a little bump in the glass right here, but it's a bump in the glass. It's actually like an extra little bit of glass. Now this is Hazel Atlas Florentine Poppy number 2. Vivian, you said you put down everything that's on the screen. Are you somehow not seeing all the way over? Huh. Usually little things like this were berry bowls. I mean, you could use them as berries or desserts. When you hold it this way, you can see that it's not perfectly circular on this one. It comes down and there's a little bit of a dip here. And then there's a little bit of a dip up here where they've actually just slightly pulled it out. And I didn't know whether I should do these as an offer up or as a buy it now, because I have the 2 different one. Let me see if I can find comps on these. If I can find comps, we can do it as a buy it now. No, I don't have a whole set. I have 2. Okay, they call it a handled bowl, cream soup, nut bowl, berry bowl. They got a couple of names down here. Okay, so they go for 10 and 12. So there's different prices because of the difference in the patterns. So number 2 goes for 10. So we'll make this one 10. As I said, there's nothing wrong with it that's aftermarket. There is a line on this one. I don't know that you'll be able to see it. There's a very faint fold in the glass. It's in the glass. It's not a crack. And it's not a scratch. You can't feel it. It's almost like it's a line within the glass. So it's a manufacturer's thing. So for the Hazel Atlas Florentine Poppy number 2, and I just explained the differences of it. So this one will be 10. And this one is number 48. This one is $10, number 48. They do not glow. I did try. Whoops, come back here. Now the other one, which they call Old Florentine, and in number 1, this one, basically when they press the glass, this one is a much deeper, like they pressed harder. I guess, because it's a lot crisper and really raised up on the glass. But the main difference is, can you see the shape? This is why this one's called Old Florentine #1. This is Old Florentine Poppy #1, and the other is just called Florentine Poppy #2. But look at the difference in the shape. They have deliberately pulled out the edge enough to actually change the shape so that it is not completely circular. And that's the big difference. It's the same wonderful floral pattern, but the big difference is how they handled the top. Everything else is the same, and they're absolutely stunning. They are wonderful. They're in great shape. Nothing wrong with them. And the Old Florentine Poppy is worth a little more because of the more decorative shape around it. And this one is 12, and it's number 33. This one is $12, number 33. And they are beautiful. So there we go. I got you, Vivian. Oh, wonderful. I've got you, hon. There it is. Thank you. Vinny. Our lovely twisted Vinny. So I have a few more pieces. I have some hand crocheted. These are interesting. I can't figure out what on earth did they make them out of, because can you see it's textured? It doesn't feel like a yarn. It feels like a cotton, but it's textured. So you have a red and a green, and you can use them. Now, it does have some open work there, but you could use them as hot plates, or I mean, this one, you could even be in all cotton like that. You could use it as a washcloth if you wanted to. You could use it to as a pot holder. They're a fairly big size. I mean, my hand just barely covers over the whole thing. But you get the pair. They're hand crocheted. They've never been used. They're in great shape. It's $6 for the pair, the red and green. The red and green pot holders, we'll call them. And it's $6 for the pair, and it's number 28. What did Iris? I don't know. I don't know if it's what they made kitchen scrubbies out of, because it's definitely an all cotton, but I've never seen any kind of yarn or anything that had those little pieces sticking up, you know, because I'm camera slide. Yeah, it does look like fleece socks in the fuzzy part, but it's not. These are all teeny little threads sticking up, but it's definitely a cotton. So if there's no takers tonight, I may put them away for Christmas. I had 2 other sets. This one is shades of blue. Now these are done differently because they have a thing you applique. You've got the fish and you've got the starfish. So these are more summery and thicker in the center, because that's a separate layer. That doesn't go through on the back. So this pair is also $6 and is number 32 for the more beachy one. For, you know, be nice at the beach house. But it's $6 for this pair, number 32. Okay. So the next thing I have is I do have this cute little elephant. I think we're getting some shade here because I put the books up there. But he is an Avon bottle. Royal Elephant Charisma Cologne. Doesn't have a date on it. Avon products. And I kept going, well, maybe his head comes off for the life. I was so tired earlier. I, for the life of me, could not figure out. And duh, that comes off. Now, it's still in there. It's still in there, but it's so well hidden that it really does look like just a little figurine, you know, because it really is well hidden on this one. So, yes, it is always just a matter of time before Vinny says something. So the little elephant is $6. Liking that number tonight. $6, number 38 for this great little elephant. You don't remember the elephant? I don't know if I don't think the elephant was in there in the Instagram photo, but he should have been in there in the video I posted this afternoon. Terry. Now, Terry, you can tell me, he's still got the cologne in him, the perfume. You can let me know if you want me to empty that out before sending it, because that will decrease the weight if he doesn't have the Lord knows how old Avon perfume in it. I don't see a year on this. Nope, no year. Caution, flammable until dry. Keep out of reach of children. That's back when perfume had a lot of alcohol in it. Wow. He is cute. I like he reminds me, with the way the face is, he reminds me of the Kurt Adler white stuff. You know, he's done a couple of figural pieces. But yeah, there's no date on him, but he's a real cutie pie. Now, what scent? He is Charisma Cologne. Whatever. I don't remember Charisma. Everything my mother bought me, I swear, had Sweet Honesty in it. I swear everything had Sweet Honesty. But that one says Charisma Cologne. Now let's put the jeweler's loop somewhere safer. Now, what else is left? The fishy is left. Now, it's a glass fishy. He doesn't have, I could tell there had been a sticker, and it didn't look like it was a round one, but doesn't have a real cloudy bottom. It's got a clear one. He's really nice. I mean, all that dark blue is in the center with white glass lines, and then there's a layer of clear glass over that. And he's not chipped anywhere. He's in great shape. Okay, I'll leave the perfume in there. So the fish is an offer up for the glass fish. And we're going to start the glass fish at $7. So the elephant is 1977, 1979. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'd never seen that elephant before. I just knew he wasn't one of mine. Most of mine are more little kid kind of stuff. Like I have Sweet Dreams, Little Boy, and the Little Dream Girl over here in their boxes. I was thinking of putting up tonight. So, all right, it has started at $7 for the glass fish. He even has little indents in the glass for his eyes. They've even put little indents in there. He's a wonderful little glass piece. My mom had a few glass fish that now he's just over 4 inches long, and he is not quite 3.5 inches tall. But my mom had a couple of really nice glass fish that my brother would send her from art studios in California. So I don't believe it's Murano. It is probably from an art studio in California, but it is a lovely piece. Because Murano would be specifically from an area in Italy. So they export all over the world. Okay. No takers for that tonight. Oh. Well, Olivia did come in after it, but she's the only one who has come in for it. So let's see. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I do have Olivia's information. Yeah, Olivia got in there afterwards, but at the time she was the only one. So the fishy is going to go to Olivia. I do have, let's see. I do have this, and I do have the Czechoslovakian vase. Lavender mushroom with frog and ladybug on top. I don't have that. If I had that, I would definitely know it. Camera. This double-sided tape is no longer working that well. Oh no, what happened? Holy crap, that scared me. I tried to push I tried to push the camera down onto the double-sided tape, and I pushed too hard, and I accidentally turned my phone off. All of a sudden, I had a black screen, and what did I do? That scared me. So this is one of the wonderful vintage satin pillowcases that I picked up. And this is Niagara Falls. Now, it has a little issue in the back because you can see that the back piece is starting to fray, but it is definitely an older one. It's also small. It's kind of small. I have not I lost my ruler. You can tell I haven't ironed it. I don't have anywhere to iron right now because I can't get into the pantry. Now it has Rock of Ages, American Falls from Goat Isle. There's a Goat Island? Now it says American Falls, and then it says Prospect Point and American Falls, but it's got the maple leaf. It's got the maple leaf, and because I really kind of wonder. I'm like, is this from the Canadian side or is this from the American side? And it has a poem about mother in the center. What's it say? Oh, it's the one where they spell out mother. M is for the million things she gave to me. O means only that she's growing old. T is for the tears she shed to save me. H is for her heart of purest gold. Isn't there a song of this? E is for her eyes with love light shining. R means right, and right shall always be. Put them all together, they smell. Put them all together, they spell mother, a word that means the world to me. So it's really sweet little thing. And it is a little thing. This is only, it is barely 12 by 12. So if you're going to put a modern pillow in there, you'd have to really probably just find a 10 by 10 and put that in there. If you're going to put a pillow in, I would probably iron it and frame it. But it is really cute, and it's a sweet little piece, and it is $10 for this vintage pillowcase from Niagara Falls. It is $10. It's number 67. $10, number 67. Okay. Oh, Terry. All right. Thank you. Now, I have this little lady who unfortunately does have a tiny little chip right on her bonnet. Right. Can we get to where it shows? It's right there. I didn't see it right away until I was washing her off. I could feel it because looking at her from like the top down, you can't see it. But then if you turn her this way, then you can really see it. But even straight on, I didn't notice it right away. So she has the red made in Japan, but she's also embossed right through there, Japan. She's really sweetly painted. She's really got a nice paint job. Now, this is the chip I did notice, but a little watercolor paint, and you could hide that because the tip of her toe sticking out is missing. But she is a sweet little thing. She's just a hair over 4 inches tall. She really would be cute in a little vignette of stuff. I love the spring colors with the green, the pale yellow, and the lavender. Her little bonnet on, her long shawl. That outfit and the long shawl like that is very much like just before the Civil War. That kind of clothing. So she is, because of the really noticeable chip there, and then because of that one, she is just going to be $5, and she's number 34. $5, number 34. Hi, Judy. I need to get a cough drop because I hurt my throat the other day. We were eating tacos, and the blasted piece of the shell got lodged in my throat, and it actually scraped my windpipe, my pipe a little bit. My throat gets sore a lot faster these days. Okay. But I'm losing my voice already. Now I have these two little guys. Now she's called Little Dream Girl. Has her little box. Has the little girl's bedroom. Box is really cute. It always cracked me up with Avon that like the heads didn't always match up. So her head is one color and the body is another. But she's got her little doll and she's in her little nightgown. And it's really cute. You know? She's the body's glass and then the head's plastic. But sometimes their plastic sometimes goes weird colors, but hers has been fine. And she is in her original box. Yeah, Katie, it sucks when you get a piece stuck like that because you're not sure if you can't. It's above the windpipe, so you got to be careful you don't accidentally breathe it in or you'll be in worse shape. But at the same time, you can't swallow, and you can feel it sharp edges digging in. I was really annoyed because I love tacos, and that sucker was ticking me off. So the little girl is, and she's got her original box. What did we do those for the last time? They were different. Nope, that's not it. I'm trying to see what I did. Well, what did I do the elephant? Well, we'll do it the same as the elephant. So, so the little girl in her box will be $6. And she's number 23. $6, number 23 for the little girl. And we have Sweet Dreams. We have the little boy who's sitting there at the foot of the steps reading to his little teddy bear. The dog's listening. So I also have in his box the little boy. And he's the same way, is that his body and his head, you know, now his head matches the color of the little girl. And they don't have the cologne in them anymore. When he's got his little storybook. And he's $6. He's number 72 for the little boy. Now he's called Sweet Dreams. And they don't have any years on those. And they were for me. They were part of the stuff I had. So now we have these two things. These are back. I have this great little well done framed cross stitch. The rooster may crow, but the hen delivers the goods. Now there's a little dot there on the frame, but it's nicely framed in the back. It's got the paper on it. And Olivia, I want to knock that over. That's a neat little 1930s vase. Olivia, you want the boy and the girl? Sure. They do make a nice pair. They do make a nice pair. What on earth just happened to YouTube? All of a sudden, I saw all this pixelated stuff. So we have this. I think it's cute, and I think it's funny. But it doesn't quite go with how we're going to change up the house. So it's time for somebody else to have the fun of this wonderful piece. And it really is well put on there. It's nicely squared, and if you've ever done cross stitch, you know about having to square the image, which basically means you make sure that it's stretched out in such a way that the whole thing is nice and squared and flat and lined up properly. All right, good night, Vinny. I don't have to be at work till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but I got other stuff to be up and do tomorrow as well. So this great little framed piece is wonderful hand done cross stitch, beautifully done. And I mean, the framing alone is more than this, but it is $8 for the cross stitch. For the rooster may crow, but the hen delivers the goods. And it's got the hen and the teddy bear with the basket of eggs. And it's, what did I just say, $8? $8 for the framed cross stitch, and it's number 79. $8, number 79. Cute little thing, but not going to fit with how we're redoing things. So now we have 53. Oh, nice. We have 53 watching, and I have 50 thumbs up. That's good. All right. Now, I think the last thing we'll do tonight is this. This is a great looking 1930s made in Czechoslovakia. It's a wonderful piece of pottery. I get a kick out of these. Like, I can see you. This curl, this wonderful curl is hollow all the way down. So is that one. They are hollow all the way to the bottom. It is a fantastic looking piece. It has one flaw. Now, I can see it on the inside, but it goes down to here. There is a very fine hairline crack, and it does go through onto the inside. And look at the color. The glazing color goes all the way down. It is just as beautiful on the inside as it is on the outside. I love the shape. It is really cool looking. I really kind of like that swirly kind of look. You know, it always seems to imply movement when you have that. It really is a great piece. It's going to be an offer up. I could not find comps on this thing anywhere. I could not find another piece that had this great coloring, that it was made in Czechoslovakia, these wonderful look. Really, I mean, it could pass for mid-century modern, but everything I could find about the shape and style and the coloring is that it's earlier than that this would be from the 30s. So the starting price for this is $10 because it is much older. Anything I could find with this great, not squared geometric, but that 1930s kind of swirl started coming in, all went, even with chips and stuff, went a lot higher. But we're gonna start at 10. But I love the color. I love this burgundy look, and the fact that somebody rolled this. You know, you can't get that in a mold. You have to actually roll that. So it had to have been, you know, somewhat handcrafted to get those extra pieces there. But it is just beautifully, beautifully done. And it's 10 inches tall at the top points. It's 10 inches tall there. And then it's over 6.5 wide. It's really unique and really wonderful and quite a great piece. Well, Francoma came a lot later, though. And as I said, you know, the only flaw is that on this side, there is that hairline and it does go through. But, you know, just have this side showing and it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So Katie will refresh and we've got Nettie for $15. Okay. See, this is why you like my sales, because, you know, there's good prices on things. Let's see, what did not sell? Let's see. So the little Nantucket Island dish was $3. That's number 29. Now, I do know that this has to have been from, they did New England before I was born, so this has got to be from the late 50s, early 60s, because I came along in 65. Good night, precious lavender buttons. So that was $3. That was number 29. And what else did not? Oh, the Lassie book did not sell. Come here, Lassie. Oh, Terry. Terry, you were here for this. You decided to get it. So, Lassie book would be good for junk journaling. And yeah, you know, he's a smaller book. So why don't we lower this a little bit? And we'll make Lassie here $4. And he's number 41. There's great illustrations in this thing. $4, number 41. What is, oh, that's what's in the way. Okay, so. And what else didn't? And let's see, what else? The cross stitch didn't sell. You just saw that. The little girl with the chip on her foot. Oh, Vivian would like 41. Vivian, do you do decoupage or junk journaling? I used to do decoupage, but I haven't had the time or the space to do that in a long time with inheriting all this stuff. Oh, and Iris, you want the cross stitch. Okay. Yeah, for that little dish, that is a great price, but it's so tiny, and I really sometimes these souvenir pieces, I'm just so unsure whether they would go unless they're like something like Storybook Land or Santa Claus Land. I know that stuff flies out the door, and usually that stuff would go on to eBay. So, the baby booty, the little baby booty is still here. And we'll make that $6, number 43, the made in Japan, made to look like a crocheted booty. And that was number 43. The lady with the chip, she's this, and she looks beautiful, but her little foot has a chip. There we go. There's a chip to her foot right there, which I don't have any watercolored paints, but the way it's chipped, it looks like her foot just goes, it didn't take away any of the foot. So it just took away like a tiny little bit of the top layer. So if you had purple watercolor paints, you could make that disappear. But here there's a tiny little, I thought it was an indent into the hat. You can't see it when the hat's that way because it actually has, that's not a chip. The hat's made to have a little indent there, but underneath there's a little teeny chip underneath. And that's the little girl. She's really beautifully done, and she is made in Japan. And she is, we can make her $4. She's number 34. So, but the other thing that hadn't sold was the pink glass berry bowls and the pot holders. Oh, that's right, Melissa, you're up where it's locked down again. There isn't a governor in these states down here that would have the nerve. They're also afraid of getting reelected. So I'm still waiting to be able to get my shot. So the cardiologist said okay. The primary care said no. I get his point. I'm still some days having congestion problems, and they don't want to risk me having breathing problems and then getting the shot and having that be worse. It's primarily because this the allergens this year are so awful, and this area is so loaded with maple trees. Norwegian maples are really kind of invasive. They're all the way across the United States, and they are not a native tree. And this area has a lot of them. Our cars are absolutely yellow every morning. There's yellow pollen all over the cars. So everybody's having allergy problems. So he wants me to wait till we get past pollen season for the trees before I go have my shot. So hopefully I can have it next month. Because usually all this pollen from the maple trees is only the month of April, a little bit into May, but oh. Now, which is Moderna the AstraZeneca shot? I am frustrated, Terry, because Mike has had issues at work. One of the reasons Mike hasn't been able to help too much right now is because they've had multiple people come in at his store with that. And then he actually had to be here in quarantine for 14 days at one point. Then he went back, and two other people, one person just quit, and another person came in and said that they tested positive. So he luckily hadn't been exposed that time. So that left only two key holders, him and the manager. It's just been crazy. At my store, they lost the entire third shift at one point. So that's why I was going in pinch hitting midnight to 4 a.m. for a little bit there. It's just working with the public. I really would rather have the shot and have that extra level of protection. But I mean, I had to wait because I had that heart seizure, and I get that. But the reason of having I've already have congestion problems, and I've had it ever since I had that March of 2020. Back when this area still was having problems getting accurate tests, they were seeing a lot of false negatives, and they really believe I had a false negative. But I still have, it's very easy for me to end up with a lot of congestion built up. and it's been a problem ever since then. So they think it's a side effect from having had that. So I have to be mindful of that. Between that and the pollen count, I got to be real careful. So, yeah, I thank the gods that my biz is with the public is very limited because of the way my health had been, and because of lockdowns. They've dumped me to 5-hour shifts. But I'm in at the most intensive time other than the morning coffee rush. 5 to 10 on, especially on the weekends. I swear in this area, there's no cook Thursday. Everybody just goes out in that area where my store is, because we get slammed. Every fast food place gets slammed. Nobody seems to want to cook on Thursdays. They go out and get fast food or they go to Wawa and get deli food. And yeah, it's once they found out how fast I am on a register, because when I was growing up, you had typing, you had keyboards that had the number pad. So you learned fingering for, thank God Vinny's not here for that. You had fingering not only for the keyboard, but you had fingering for a number pad, because back then they taught you how to work the old adding machines too. So I'm quick on a register. So they put me for them, but honestly, it's like, it's exhausting some nights. When I was there last time I was there, they did $1,000 an hour. I was the only register person. We were down one person because somebody called out, and it just was chaos. I never left what they call the core, which is where the register is. I never left it. And for 4 of the 5 hours I was there, I was ringing through $1,000 in merchandise in each hour. That's a lot for one person. That is a lot. Yeah. It's a lot. So yeah, I've had to do a lot of the opera breathing that I learned from when I used to sing the stuff. My problem though is a lot of COVID long-term have the problem in that the congestion gets into the lower part of the lung in your back. So they have to do the really deep breathing from low. I work at a Wawa, which is a convenience store chain on the East Coast and down in Florida. My problem is because I was sleeping on my stomach when this hit. So it didn't go into my lungs. It went into the bronchial tubes. So that's where the problem is. So if it starts building up too much, I sleep with a heating pad behind my back. And then in the morning, as soon as I wake up, I flip over and I lay with the heating pad on here, and you can just feel it just kind of clogging into your throat and melting away. It's just nuts. Yeah, that's nuts for even 2 people. And that's why sometimes I come home from working a 5-hour shift and I'm exhausted. Wawa, it's like, now we don't have a gas Wawa. Our store isn't one of those where you can get gas. That's where a lot of them are turning into. We will eventually be one of them. But they are a little bit of a grocery store, and then you can get food. You can get hoagies. In some areas they're called subs. You can get now they have hamburgers, which are really actually quite good, and fries. That's something new. There's hot food. You can get chicken, you can get beef, like for cheesesteak. You can get mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. There's usually at least one soup on all day, hot meatball sandwiches. So basically it's got its own little deli kind of thing going. Yeah, in the hospital, they will encourage you to sleep on your belly if you have that, because the back of your lungs, people seem to think of your organs as these smooth things. Lungs are not a balloon that's smooth. lungs are very porous and have these pockets, like, they have pockets like this that are just these little wells, and they're all down the back of your lungs. And if those get full of mucus, which is what's happening with that illness, then you can't get enough oxygen in, because that pocket is really what helps pull the oxygen into your bloodstream. And that's a real problem. I got lucky in that I was already sleeping on my stomach, but it sat in the bronchial tubes, which has made that just put out more mucus. But then when I sleep on my back, then it does drain into the lungs. So I have to make sure, because when you get this builds up with mucus, then that also means you're retaining fluid. Well, your heart is right here. In my family, congestive heart failure runs in the family for the females. I do not want that problem. So if this all builds up and gets too much fluid, I have to be super mindful of how my body feels in that area. So it's created its own problems, and it creates a lot of fatigue when all this builds up too, because you're just not breathing right and your heart's working so much harder. I mean, really, you have to be your own advocate with a doctor anymore. You really have to pay attention to what signals your body tells you, and you can bypass. If you learn to pay attention to the warning signs, it'll shoot a, what's the phrase, the naval phrase? It'll shoot a warning shot across your bow if you pay attention. So you can really end up avoiding a lot of later problems and sudden problems if you pay attention to the warning shots your body's giving you. So, but I started channel in 2020. I was not planning on trying to start a channel until 2021, but that happened. So I started it a year before I was ready. So I had wanted to have the packing room all organized, shelves up, things set up, table raised. I had wanted to have a printer already set and a scale. Didn't have any of that. And I also didn't have a defined space. Stuff's still in boxes. I don't have shelving to put anything on. It's all still, it's like Antiques from Karen. It's just she has way more. And she had at least stuff she's been selling stuff for 3 years now before she started her channel. She at least has shelving, so she's able to organize. I can't even organize yet. So all of that's been 2020 has just been this perfect storm of one little problem after another compounding. But I think 2021, you're finally getting, I don't feel like I'm slogging through anymore. I think I'm finally getting somewhere. And the live sales are a challenge, because if you don't get everything done in 1 week and I get backlogged, then I'm still fighting that backlog. Next week, I had to make up my mind. Was I or wasn't I going to have a sale? I will warn you now, I don't know. Because I don't work until that Saturday and Mike has a couple days off, we might go camping. So if I'm not going to have the sale, I'll make sure I put it on Instagram and I'll post a video up if we're going to go camping. If I am having the sale Thursday night, I have another box of Shackman products. I haven't looked. I don't know what's in it. It could all be the same as the last time. I don't know. But I got another box of the Shackman products. I can show you Shackman. For those of you who are here this time that weren't here when I did the last unboxing of Shackman, Shackman Publishing had been around for years, and they made good quality reproductions of a lot of Victorian stuff. Now, this one happens to be a pack of Sonia Henny ornaments. Now, this is already sold, but I just want to show you this to make show you what they make. Now, these are really thick. It's a good quality press board. The illustrator who did these was Tom Tierney, and this is the kind of stuff they do. And I don't know if the light picks it up, but every one of these has little gold trim on it to accent it. And that's just an example of some of what we had the last time. There was some fabulous stuff, some great Christmas stuff in the one box the last time. And we'll see what's in it. But that's the plan for next Thursday. If I have the sale, it will be a Shackman box that we will do a live unboxing. And I'll start selling the stuff right from the box. And if I'm not, it's because I will be going camping, and I will make sure I put a notice up on Instagram and YouTube which one it's going to be. All right. So I'm going to go for tonight. I hope everybody had fun. It's 2 a.m. here, and my throat's starting to go completely. And that's all because I scratched up the inside. Now, the brooch tonight. The brooch tonight is something special that I went to a lot of trouble to find and get. I am a big Olympics fan, and we did not have the Olympics, but I managed to snag a Team USA 2020 Japanese kitty. He has his paw up, but look, his paw moves. He's so cute. His paw moves. I love those little kitties with the paw up. I forget what, if it's up on one side, it means one thing, and if it's up on the other side, it means the other. And I have a tiny little collection of them. A tiny little collection. I have like 4, and this is one of them. But I love those little Japanese kitties. So I thought that was really cool and unique and Olympics. So that's my pin for tonight. So you guys have a good weekend. And Neko is Japanese for cat. Now, is it 1K or 2? Maneki. I flunked Japanese. My great aunt Michiko tried, but I didn't see her often enough. But I do remember Neko. Neko is cat. A friend of mine actually has, I told her that, and she named one of the kittens Neko. So she has a cat who's now, oh, Neko's got to be about 16 years old. So, but I do remember that. Don't remember much, but I remember that. So you guys have a good weekend. And I will see you possibly next week. I do have a video to put together for the Black Hole Challenge, a bunch of little clips, so you can see what's going on. Oh, Nettie, your daughter's in for a challenge. Japanese is very difficult because it's all about inflection. Sometimes what you say will have a little suffix at the end, like wakaremasu ka? It goes up, and you say ka at the end. It says, do you understand? If you understand, the answer would be hai wakarimasu. But notice the inflection of wakarimasu. It's got to go down. Whereas the other one adds ka, but the inflection goes up. And it's difficult to learn because it's all about how you say something. So I used to know how to say goodnight. I don't remember. The only thing I know how to say is good morning, which is, if I remember right, is Ohio. So, so that's either good morning or good afternoon. I've forgotten which after all these years. So that's about the extent of my Japanese, because I just don't remember most of it. But I was like 6, 7 years old. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. And as I said, there will be a video coming up. I have to edit it, and I probably won't have time to do that till Saturday, about the black hole challenge. And honestly, if any of you are quilters at some point, there's going to have to be a fabric sale for quilters and a craft sale just for craft stuff. The stuff I found. So good night, everybody.